In line with our Jimmy Dore is a dipshit, one of his follow-up guys is this dude Lee Camp. Remember Lee Camp? Lee Camp used to be an alleged progressive. He's what we would call a faux-gressive around here. People who hate progress so much they call themselves progressives. I don't know, maybe they're just shilling for the insurance company, but this is secret giant U.S. base. Oh, shit. Hold on. And it's a secret giant U.S. structure in Lebanon. What's their plan? What? Oh, my God. A secret giant U.S. base in Lebanon? What kind of that? When did they start building this crazy thing? Who here, chat room, who thinks this is going to be kind of a pile of shit and kind of an obvious, like somewhere between Baghdad's green zone, kind of a building that they build in dangerous areas and they have to create it more like a fortress because it's not safe. And so it's a little bigger than usual. And you can basically, you have fallback buildings. Anybody? All right. How some of us ladies want you to continue the facial hair. Okay. We shall see what we shall see. I'll see what I can do. I don't want to end up looking like this asshole, though. Okay, so here we go.
Here is Craig Murray. I'm going to jump around in this 15-minute video.
Why does he look more like Ficus than I do? Hey, man, we look like we could be related. Is that because you, like, lean in on your Camry or something? Shit. What is happening there, buddy? Buddy-ro. Blat him. It's just me?
Video he put it up. He has been awesome. He's been awesome on Julian.
He's so awesome.
Assange and everything.
What? What the hell is that? Well, what the hell is that? What in the hell is that? Hold on, I gotta turn off the Epstein window on this thing. I need a button for that. Okay, there we go. What in the hell? What in the hell is that? What the hell is that? What the hell is that? What the hell is that?
Else, always good to listen to what Craig Murray's saying.
Always.
We are in Beirut.
Fabulous.
Overlooking the construction of the new United States Embassy complex here.
Oh, so it's a giant. The secret giant structure is the U.S. Embassy. Huh. How do people go to the embassy if it's a secret? Like if they have meetings there, or the locals, or they have anybody gathering there. It's a secret building. Is it invisible to the naked eye? Do you have some sort of a filter on?
In Beirut. What you're seeing there, that massive range of buildings, that's only a part of it. That's about a quarter of the new complex. It's being built here. That is the second.
Fabulous. And it looks, look, it's got a water park. You can see that part right there, whatever. And then you slide down here and you end up in that little area. That's super cool. Or whatever. Where I don't know, when did they put in the tilt-a-whirl?
Largest embassy in the world.
The second largest embassy in the world. I think the biggest one is the Green City in Baghdad, I bet, or the Green Zone in Baghdad. I bet it's that. And then, yeah. And then, like, our Beijing embassy's got to be up there. So is Russia's.
Of any country, anywhere in the world. The second largest embassy in the world.
Right after the Green Zone, which is why it's built like that, because it's a fortress. It's not just an embassy.
It's been constructed here in Beirut by the United States.
Well, I'm glad we're building it because it's theirs.
And we can't find out officially from the State Department, but we understand that the complex is built to house 5,000 staff.
Okay. What's the big deal? The vast number? Is that a huge number for you, or is it you want to know whether it's 4,700 or 5,200?
I used to be an ambassador. I know what an embassy does. They're basic
Excellent
functions of an embassy.
Yeah, but you're clearly an English ambassador, so not quite the same thing.
It can run political relations with the country. It issues visas.
Sure.
It can do press and public relations. It can administer aid. It can do defense cooperation. And most embassies have an intelligence section.
Right. Yeah, that would require a lot of space in the modern world, I would think.
That is not an embassy. That is something 50 times the size of what an embassy would be in a country like this.
Fabulous.
50.
It looks fantastic.
50 times the size of an average embassy. This is in Beirut.
Yeah, but in D.C., for example, the average embassy is an apartment flat.
Lebanon that the U.S. has been constructing for years.
Yeah, 2017. They started building in 2017.
And he goes on to talk about the sheer number of staff. He calls the embassy to see if they'll answer questions, and it's an automated list. Push number 1 for this, number 2 for that, number 3 for USAID. And he says no matter which number you push, when you push it, it just goes, goodbye. Which, amazing.
Well, you could show that part, I guess, instead of telling us so that we know what the fuck you're talking about. Maybe it's because it's not done yet.
Amazing way to handle that, U.S. government.
Maybe they're calling the wrong place.
Well done. Well done on that.
Diplomatic list for the United States of America. These are always public information. They're public under the Vienna Convention. And they list the diplomatic staff of every embassy in the country. So you can, for example, look at the embassy of Lebanon in the United States and see how many staff it's got. And it has 7 diplomatic staff. And it also
Right, they're all in an apartment.
lists their spouses. It's a list of everybody with diplomatic immunity. That's why it's published under the Vienna Convention. The embassy of the United Kingdom to the United States of America is one of the world's larger embassies. It's an embassy between 2 of the wealthiest countries in the world, 2 of the top 8 economies.
Great.
And as you'd expect, there are a lot of diplomats there handling relations.
Yeah, sure.
And it runs to, I think, 120 names, many of whom have spouses.
So he said 100.
Good for them.
120 in that embassy. Earlier on the video, I don't know if you caught it, the U.S. has said how many staff are in the U.S. embassy in Beirut? 5,000.
They didn't say that. He said he couldn't confirm it. Did I not watch the same video you watched? You're playing it.
5,000. He goes on to list the numbers in other embassies, and the max is like 200 people. And yet there's 5,000 in this
Yeah, then tell us about the one in Baghdad and understand that Lebanon is in flux.
massive complex in Beirut.
By the way, this has nothing to do with the real story about what's going on here. Like, talk about totally burying the lead.
And it raises the question, what in God's name is going on in Beirut? What is the U.S. planning?
Let me come on to this question of the American embassy that's being built here, because we've been and looked at it as close as you're allowed to get to it. And it's plainly not an embassy, whatever it is. This is plainly something else. What is it? Why is it so big? And how much do you know about it?
Oof. How much do I know about? How much do all of the Lebanese know about? It's like the biggest non-secret over here. They started building it a few years back, and the mass scale of it is like it's scary. It's the second largest U.S. embassy in the world after the one that they have in Iraq. So
Baghdad.
to have the largest embassies in the world stationed in the Middle East, that tells you how important the Middle East is for them. Now, when it comes to Iraq, it's for military purposes.
Like, Russia's biggest ones are in Mexico and Beijing. What does that tell you about Mexico?
Because it joins the 3 countries that they want to control or attack. So you have basically Iraq, you have Syria, and then you have Iran. That's at close proximity. And then you have Jordan, which is an allied state to them. In Lebanon, it's a different
And Israel.
case scenario. They need it for logistics, for torture, for interrogation.
Yeah, you don't need a big space for torture, right? Didn't they just use some of the old structures there in Iraq?
Support their espionage missions across the region. And this is the only country, not only in the Middle East, but in the world, where they can do their bidding, and the politicians will allow them to do so. Kind of an embassy is that's built on thousands of acres of land. It has underground dungeons.
Yeah.
That includes detention cells. It has basically what you call pathways underground that lead to the sea, because that's where they have the other escape route.
By the way, how do we know this? Honest to God, I don't necessarily doubt her in that regard, but how did they know this? Why am I supposed to take this as written? Like torture chambers and a magic chute that sends you out to the sea? Seriously, how do we know? I mean, granted, I don't think this guy's going to interview somebody who isn't going to say this. So
they do have their own helicopter pads, and then basically they can fly to Cyprus in and out.
So
yeah, helicopter pads are not shocking.
it has dungeons, it has torture rooms,
Sure it does.
it has escape routes. Because the U.S. has Israel as one battleship in the Middle East, and they're now building these massive entities that are based.
Not now. No. First of all, the point of this whole thing is they've been building it since 2017, since the last time Trump was in office. That's when they signed off on growing this fucking thing. And the story is the fact that the destabilization of Lebanon that occurred with Hezbollah in the south trying to pick up a fight and losing against Israel and basically being drummed out, that stabilized the Lebanese government, and the fall of Syria is why this is meaningful. And if you're going to get conspiratorial about it, you would think that maybe the United States could see the writing on the wall about these areas and decided that this is a pivotal place to have, a relationship. We've had a relationship with Beirut in the past. Previously, there are a lot of Lebanese Americans. It is a pivotal piece of territory, and it's right in the middle of all these places that are effectively falling apart. And Lebanon itself was basically bifurcated, across the middle by Hezbollah.
Basically, a form of U.S. ownership of these areas.
No, it isn't. They lease the territory for like 100 years.
To allow the U.S., along with Israel, to steal.
To set up water slides into the ocean for diplomats in case they have to bug out in the middle of Beirut again.
Various areas of the Middle East. You put in puppet governments, as it seems they have in Lebanon, obviously.
Oh, they have? I see. Which puppet government? The one that is Hezbollah or the one that isn't?
There's a difference between the Lebanese government and Hezbollah, but...
Is there?
Apparently the Lebanon's government, the officials are basically corrupt enough that they're fine with the U.S. doing this. It is incredibly secretive. As they mentioned, you don't know the U.S. government.
Yeah, I couldn't even see it. They were showing pictures of it, and I was like, what is that? It's just gleaming.
The government has not talked about why this is so large, what's going on inside of it. Really what it is it's a...
Gee, it's almost as if that's necessary for the security of the people inside.
Combination of embassy, intelligence services.
Yeah, we heard her. That's what she said.
Military service.
Yeah.
It's basically everything the U.S. would need to run large-scale operations out of Beirut.
As opposed to what, off of an aircraft carrier?
It goes along with the 900 military bases that the U.S. has around the world.
No, it doesn't. Those are for Bretton Woods. Those are to guard shipping lanes.
But this seems incredibly secretive. Like, it is not.
Yeah, I couldn't. Again, it's not on any map. It's let's see. I don't know. Are there any? Let's see. I don't even know if it exists on any known maps. Or anything. Let's see. Inside the new $1 billion mega fortress, U.S. Embassy 10 times bigger than London's, as of a week ago. Let's see. CNN. Massive new U.S. embassy complex in a tiny Middle East nation is raising eyebrows. In May of 2023. Gee, how do they keep these fucking things secret? All this time. Look, there's not even a picture of it. I think that's just a ship blocking our view. Oh, shit. That must be, this is with the little tube that goes down into the dungeons. And this is what's happening. Over here, it's not a building, it's a complex of buildings. This is parking, obviously. Meanwhile, here, this is something, I'm going to cheer up Lee Camp. I don't want him to feel like Russia's left out, because this is really just, it's like a dick measuring contest about the size of buildings. 10 most striking Russian embassies around the world. This is in Beijing. This is their one in Beijing. This is all built from scratch on a raised piece of land. This is the one in Gabon. And where's the Poland? That's where they took a palace. This one I love. This is, boy, Havana, Cuba. You think the Russians are expecting some shit to hit the fan in Havana, Cuba? This thing's built like a fucking space colony prison out of a Stallone movie. A very bad one. It looks a lot like the Hollywood Terror, the Guardians of the Galaxy ride in Disneyland. Yeah, look at that thing. Gorgeous. There's the one in Rome. They just borrowed a building that was there, There's DC. It's basically a big block. Hey, look, it's the apartment buildings that Jimmy hates. Berlin, Germany, because that's what everything looks like in Germany. Same thing with Finland. The Netherlands. This is the Russian embassy in The Hague in Netherlands. It's a villa called Debunking. It's adorable. It comes with a windmill, and twice a day, a Dutch woman chases a guy holding a pie out of this window, and they go around in a circle, and she's banging a pan with a rolling pin, and that lets you know to set your watch. And then Bern, Switzerland, of course, this one opens straight up onto the Hadron Collider. The biggest one of theirs is in Beijing, and the second biggest one is in Mexico. But anyways, back to, I don't know, torture chambers.
Been talked about heavily. The U.S. has not explained it away. And
how do you explain away a giant embassy compound? It's a giant embassy compound.
Yet it's getting very little coverage. So,
yeah, very little coverage. Just CNN and MSNBC and let's see, where was this one? Metro and let's see. Yeah, nobody's called it. Barron's. No, sorry. That's generals, job opportunities. Contact us. Look, it's so hidden. They have a contact us page where you can get a job. Anybody want to work at the new compound? They need 5,000 workers. And these are jobs that will not be cut by Doge. I guarantee it. Massive new U.S. embassy is in a tiny little country. There's the CNN one. Let's see. Why is the new embassy in Beirut? This is Ali Bawaba. There's the travel thing on there. Yes, their official website. Let's go to their official website. That's fun. That's this guy. So it's totally secret, guys. They don't even have a So nobody's working here except this lady. She's a career member of the Foreign Service. She's the current ambassador to Lebanon. But luckily, they don't have a map where you can find it. And you can't find... It's so secret, they don't even allow them to have social media, even a fucking YouTube page. The U.S. Embassy Beirut has the new embassy compound. Here's a video on it. 5 years ago, here's on the building. How to work with USAID at that place or whatever. A month ago, green innovation. Here you go. U.S. Ambassador Lisa Johnson toured a composting facility in Ras El Metin, funded by USAID. The goal of the facility is to divert waste by encouraging reuse and recycling. So, it's terrible. It's just all a big smoke screen. Nobody even knows what they do there. It's all in slow motion, because if you saw them moving fast, you'd know what they were up to.
I'll be following updates on...
Boring. Also, I think this guy said at one point that... where was it? It's not an embassy. Where's this shit? That you have to list...
50 times the size of what...
The side on to talk about...
Hold on.
...of America. These are always public information. They're public under...
Okay, another thing. No, they aren't. Under the Vienna Convention, you have to publicize any military people that are coming and get permission from the country under the Vienna Convention. And I don't know if the fucking Lebanon is signature to the fucking Vienna Convention, but if you're going to have military people in that base or intelligence people, you have to get permission. You have to let people know you've got military people in their country, right? That's the rule. Unless you have a previous treaty, in which case you can have a military base, and then you can have kind of both, and they interact. But you don't have to list everybody there at all. You have to give a list of people. Anybody who works there and has credentials is assumed to have diplomatic immunity. And it is good form most of the time to let people know that you've got diplomats in the country. But you only have to technically let them know under the Vienna Convention if you're sending military attaches or you're sending, intelligence people or whatever. And I got news for you. The Russians never send us a note. And so, and again, like the green zone, they don't, the Iraqi government doesn't have a list of every military person living and working in the green zone. It's just stupid. They're not public under the Vienna Convention. They can be made public. They don't have to be made public. The only thing that you're under, let's see, find it. Hold on. The Vienna Convention, where is it? Let's see. Hold on. Vienna Convention, embassy staff rules. Like, I don't know, something along those lines. Standard practice principles governing diplomatic relations. Okay, but let's see. Let's see. Have to disclose all embassy staff names. Vienna Convention. Yeah. Let's see. Under the Vienna Convention of Diplomatic Relations, only top diplomats are given the highest degree of immunity from law. The treatment of diplomats in their embassy is generally specified in the Vienna Convention on Diplomatic Relations. However, there are different categories of persons within each diplomatic mission, some of whom enjoy greater immunity than others. That doesn't tell me whether they need to be in there. But in that, let's see. Let's go there. 5 common misconceptions about diplomatic immunity debunked. And like everybody's free to do whatever the fuck they want as long as they're bugged out of the country. Blah blah blah. Depending on what country you're in, diplomatic immunity might not mean much. Even diplomats at the highest level of immunity can be issued traffic citations. Yeah, it depends on the agreement with the country. Hold on. This is. See if I can do this. Yeah, here it is. Under the Vienna Convention, the sending state may freely appoint the members of the staff of the mission. However, in the case of military, naval, or air attaches, the receiving state may require their names to be submitted beforehand for approval. That's it. They may require their names to be submitted beforehand. They do not have to be made public. This is silly. Just a dick. Just, and again, have your issue with it, but that's just fucking not true. I know it's only something that I care about. I get it.